Hello everyone. Today we are going to read a very interesting and a funny poem written by Gabriel Lieberman. Now, this poem, My Nose, is a description of the poet's abnormally large and bulbous nose. Though he often finds it the subject of ridicule and joke, he writes that it gives him a regal look and makes the ladies notice him. And he's rather proud of his unusual asset, which he proudly claims. He says that it makes trees lose their leaves when he sneezes. So let's enjoy the poem. I never chose my nose to be a statement of longevity. So the poet says that he never chose his nose to be so long. Now, here, a statement of longevity means that the persistence, the story. He never thought that his nose would persist for long life. Its grandeur lies within its size. But again, he says that the charm or the magnificence lies within its size. Means the charm of nose lies within its size. Because of its size only, there is a charm. And the way it looms between my eyes, and the way it leads me from meal to meal. Then he says that it lies between his eyes, and it also leads him from meal to meal. Means it helps him to find the food items, the smell of different dishes or meal. Some wonder if the bulbous thing is mine. Then he says that some people they wonder, they amaze that this bulbous means this big and round thing is poet's, means it belongs to the poet. And is it really real? And then they are very surprised that this nose belonged to the poet. Is it real? From my childhood days, I wore it like a crown. My mom adored it. Then he says that from his childhood, when he was very young, he is wearing this nose like a crown. And he is wearing this nose like a crown. And his mother also praises it or adores, means she likes very much, dearly. My father, who had a big one too, said, Son, if something to get used to. And this nose is actually inherited by his father only, who also had this big nose. And he always said, You will be used to of this nose. And if children taunt you, don't forget there are bigger things you will regret. So afterwards his father advises him that if children taunt you or the children mock at you, don't forget there are bigger things you will regret. So there are many other things for which you will regret. So just leave it if somebody mock at you. And your nose will grow much bigger yet. And your nose has to grow much bigger. Still it has to grow more. So don't feel bad if children laugh at you. So big in fact that when I sneeze, the trees around me lose their leaves. Now, the poet says that this nose is so big that when he sneezes, the trees lose their leaves. It precedes me into any room, but it has always made the ladies swoon. And then he says that my nose helps me to get into the room. It guides me where to go, but it has always made the ladies swoon. And then he says that the ladies, they always notice him, or they they are impressed by his nose. People often say to I, smaller noses we have seen on elephants and rhinoceri. And then there is hyperbole. The poet has used a poetic device, hyperbole, where he's just saying so highly about his nose, and he says that people often say that they have seen many smaller noses like elephants and rhinoceri. So here he just says that his nose is bigger than the elephants or rhinoceros. Me and my nose are stuck together, whether for worse or maybe better. It gives my face a regal look and helps turn pages in this book. And then the poet says that nose and he always stuck together. Means they are always together, and sometimes his nose, help to turn pages in his book. So when they put me in a basket, at the last, the poet says that tell that person who will build my coffin to cut a hole on top so I. And he says that just tell that man to cut a hole on the top of the coffin so that he can smell the flowers when he dies. So we found that in this poem, the poet feels embarrassed about his nose, but he has accepted it as something he has to live with since he cannot change it. He makes fun of his nose in a very good natured way, and exaggeration makes the poem humorous, like his nose turning pages, blowing off leaves, his mother adoring his nose, it giving him a regal look are some examples of humor in this poem. I hope you enjoyed this poem. So please go through the poem again. Thank you.